So in 1948, he decided to add furniture to his product line. This was great timing, as after World War II, the Swedish government built lots of new affordable housing that all needed furnishing. Demand for cheap furniture was high, and so furniture sales soon overtook the other small items Ingvar was selling. Plus, there were a handful of small furniture makers in the area, so it was easy enough to buy it from them in bulk and then sell the individual pieces for a profit. What wasn't easy for Ingvar was keeping track of all the different items he was ordering. You see, because of Ingvar's dyslexia, he couldn't keep track of all the different codes for the individual items, so instead, he decided to give them more memorable names. For example, bathroom items were named after Swedish bodies of water. Desks and chairs were given male Scandinavian names. And children's products were given the names of Scandinavian mammals and birds. When Ingvar sent out a brochure advertising IKEA's new furniture offerings with these eye-catching names, a lot of mail orders came in. As IKEA expanded, the family farm was cleared out in order to manage the workload, and every member of the Kamprad family helped out however they could. The family was a business, and the business was a family. Before long, Ingvar had hired a staff of 8 people, and he greeted everyone with a hug and considered them his family as well. IKEA's foray into furniture was a massive success, and it was growing steadily, but there was a massive problem on the horizon. You see, IKEA was a mail-order business. They would mail out brochures advertising their products, and then customers could mail them back with an order. The problem was that IKEA was just one out of hundreds of mail-order retailers that also sold furniture, and they all bought it from the same suppliers. With so many sellers in a single market, IKEA and other businesses had virtually no way to stand out other than lowering their prices, but this meant IKEA's profit margins were getting dangerously thin. The only way to mitigate this was to cut costs, but that meant the quality of the furniture suffered, and mail-order furniture was getting a terrible reputation. Ingvar knew that if IKEA didn't evolve soon, its days were numbered. But that's when he remembered what he learned back in business school. If Ingvar could design a more cost-effective distribution pipeline than its competitors, IKEA could cut costs without sacrificing quality. This way they could lower their prices, and still make a big profit. To do this, Ingvar reimagined IKEA's entire business model. First, he bought a large rundown department store for around $1,600. It was a steal, and after paying $75,000 for renovations, Ingvar beautifully designed the store with IKEA's main furniture offerings. Then, Ingvar cancelled most of IKEA's product lines, and sent out an advertising brochure announcing that they were now exclusively a furniture and domestic products business. This would simplify the supply chain massively. Ingvar's new distribution strategy was now in motion. IKEA would mail out catalogs just like they used to, but customers would actually come to the store to buy a piece of furniture. Because of this, IKEA no longer had to worry about shipping, which reduced their distribution costs massively, and thus let Ingvar achieve his initial goal: maintain quality, lower prices, and still make a big profit. No other furniture business had combined mail order with a retail location, so IKEA was pioneering a new and risky strategy. But on opening day in 1953, Ingvar saw a line of more than 1,000 customers lined up outside IKEA. He was actually worried that the Swedish buns he was giving out for free wouldn't be nearly enough for everyone, or worse, that the rundown building he had bought would collapse under the weight of so many people. Thankfully though, the building held, and more buns were cooked just in time. Ingvar described that day as one long rush of constant and joyous work, and since IKEA's consistent quality and lower prices were irresistible to customers, the following days didn't disappoint either. The IKEA store became something of a local tourist attraction, with people coming in from all over Sweden. Ingvar even built a hotel with a pool right next to it. It also helped that people had been skeptical of ordering low-priced furniture from mail-order catalogs, so allowing people to come and see it themselves in store was hugely popular. But by still sending out the mail-order catalogs, IKEA could still reach customers in a very wide area. And thus, Ingvar's gamble was a big success. But on a larger scale, IKEA was still just one player in a massive industry, and the biggest furniture retailers saw IKEA's new methods as a threat. Ingvar didn't know it yet, but IKEA had just made some powerful enemies.